VocalEye Almost Live Zoom, Museum of Bad Gifts, hosted by Amy Amantea, with special guests Stephanie Avery and Shari Kasman.
So a big welcome to all my friends in the space, to this VocalEye Almost Live event. You all know me by now, but if you don't, my name is Amy Amantea. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Associate Director here at VocalEye, and your host for these online Almost Live events, and proud to be a member of this community. Geez, I'm going to be coming up on my, pretty soon I'm going to be coming up on my 20th anniversary of being a member of the blind community. So that'll be an interesting celebration, and I won't be celebrating it with tears of sadness. It's been a very joyful thing for me to be a part of this community. So I just want to extend a big thank you to you all. You fill my Wednesdays with happiness. You fill my other days with happiness too, because I get to see lots of you at other events and other spaces that we share at the theater, lots of other places. So thanks for being a part of my life, for filling it with richness. Thanks for supporting VocalEye, for sharing donations, for sharing testimonials, and telling us about how this programming impacts your life. It's really great. We send that with our grants to our funders, and it's good for our funders and our board to know that this programming makes a difference, for you all to have access to arts and cultural events that are made accessible for folks who are blind and low vision. So that's great. So if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, we also would like you to join us in all the things that we do with VocalEye. So please look us up on our newsletter and connect with us there. Lindsay does some great things with the newsletter. Check us out on our website, vocaleye.ca. You can always come and join us at the theater. In fact, if you come on a VocalEye night, and all of that information is on our website, because we go to the theater, we travel to theaters. So we could be at many different theaters in the greater Vancouver area. You are welcome to give it a try and try a headset. You don't have to be blind or partially sighted. If you want to give it a try and experience it, you are most welcome to do that. So as long as we got a spare headset going, you're welcome to give it a try. So friends, hit that like and subscribe button. We'd love for you to come along on our journey. VocalEye is broadcasting to you all from the traditional and unceded or stolen lands of the Coast Salish peoples, in particular the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Peoples. So y'all know that I like to think about my land acknowledgements in terms of what kind of content we're sharing tonight. So tonight, oh my God, I've been waiting for a long time for the Museum of Bad Gifts, and tonight is the night. And so I've been thinking about Indigenous relations and what is considered a bad gift and what is considered a good gift. And so I did a little bit of research. And of course, with the caveat that different Indigenous folks, different nations have different practices and different protocols. And so keeping that in mind, there isn't sort of like a one size fits all solution, or sorry, that's not the word I want to use, but a one size fits all recommendation. But there are a few, I think there are a few sort of key things that are maybe what you should think about when you are considering a gift. Some cultural protocols and some things that you should stay away from when thinking about giving a gift. So here's a little bit of what I've learned, and I'm going to share it with you. So in thinking about what you might give to somebody who's Indigenous, a key thing to know up front is that there are protocols that have some kind of commonalities with them. So that being said, here are some of the respectful kind of ground rules. The most important rule is when in doubt, ask. If you're working with a specific nation, elder, or community, ask a liaison or a person directly, and do it in a respectful way. Generally, good gifts and why. So here's a short sort of list. So something meaningful, something local, or something handmade. So handmade items, crafts, or something from your own community. Small artworks or items with a story behind them. These are valued because they show that there's thought put behind it, there's effort, and there's a relationship building. It's not just a transaction. So that's part of the protocol. Indigenous made items, if appropriate, can be given as a gift. So artwork, beadwork, textiles, prints, foods or goods from Indigenous owned businesses. This supports Indigenous artists and economics and aligns with cultural values and reciprocity. Practical and culturally respectful items are often suggested for elders or knowledge keepers. So those would include things like tea, cloth, sage, cedar, books, kitchen items, or useful household goods. Blankets I thought was interesting. So in some cultures, we're thinking sort of like Pacific Northwest and other nations in that area, a blanket can symbolize honor, respect, and relationships, and very significant. And it's not considered to be casual. An honorarium and a small gift. So if you are working in a professional capacity with somebody, so maybe you've invited somebody to do a land acknowledgement or some knowledge teachings, you might offer them an honorarium, so a payment plus a small gift. That's considered common practice. So I know that I do that a lot in the theater contexts that I work in. So if we invite an elder to give a land acknowledgement or share some knowledge, then that's part of the protocol that is often followed. And then here's a list of generally bad gifts and why they're bad gifts. So alcohol. Alcohol is considered a bad gift. It's often considered inappropriate or offensive in many contexts. Random sort of charity style gifts, that's in quotations, charity style gifts. Handing out money, clothes, or items without context. So that's kind of the charity thing. Especially giving directly to individuals or children. This can undermine community structures. It can create imbalance or pressure. It can create that power dynamic. So we don't want to do that. And then, of course, mass-produced or, quote, fake Indigenous items, that would not be right. Things like dream catchers, carvings, etc., not made by Indigenous artists. So don't buy anything on Temu and give it to an Indigenous person. This could be seen as culturally inappropriate, disrespectful, or actually a violation of artists and artist traditions. And then anything overly personal or symbolic without the understanding. So sacred items like medicines, if you don't know the protocol and you don't know what it's used for, don't give it as a gift. Cultural objects that are used incorrectly. So these can be they can carry sort of, specific ceremonial meaning. So guessing is risky. Gifts with no relationship or context. In many Indigenous cultures, giving gifts is about reciprocity, respect for knowledge shared, and building relationships. It's not a transaction. A random or performative gift can feel awkward or inappropriate. A simple way to think about it is this. A good gift says, I respect you, I've thought about this, and I value this relationship. A bad gift says, even unintentionally, it says, I don't know your context, but here's something generic. So that's a little bit about what I learned about gift giving in Indigenous cultures and communities. And I think, as everything we kind of talk about in many of our spaces, context is really important. Context is key. So that's what I'm offering before we do our shared content this evening on Wednesday, April the 15th, 2026. And I'm really happy to invite folks into our space tonight. This is our Almost Live event number 213, 213. And it's our folks from the Museum of Bad Gifts. I'm so excited to learn about bad gifts. So I'm going to invite Shari and Stephanie into the space. And I get to just stop and take a breath for a moment because that's a lot of talking. So we've got two squares joining us. We've got Shari and we've got Stephanie. Hello, friends from Ontario.
Hello.
Hello. Whew. How are you both?
Great.
Joining us from the future.
Thanks for having us here.
Some other of our other folks are from out east, whether it's Ontario or New York or some other folks. So you're not the only ones joining.
Yeah, so we're living in the future. It's
how was
just
dinner?
about 10 p.m.
And what are the lottery numbers tonight? I know the other folks in the space who've heard me say that, I don't know, 213 times are like, wah, wah, heard that one before. I hesitate to go back on the YouTube channel and see how many of these jokes I've reset over and over. Um,
So you're good.
it's the first time for you, so that's all that matters. So I'm so excited to have you both in the space. Let's get to know a little bit about both of you before we dive into some museum work. I'm really excited about this. So, Shari, Stephanie, which one of you would like to go first? Because I actually don't know which square is which on this space because I can't read your names in them. So, there we go.
Should I
Somebody's got to
start?
volunteer.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
who's I?
Okay, I'm Shari,
Yay, Shari.
and
Okay.
yeah, I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a writer and multidisciplinary artist in Toronto. Some of my work deals with the urban environment and urban interventions. There's a
Mhm.
lot of humor throughout my work. I have made books, I have made photo-based and community-based work, and I co-curate the Museum of Bad Gifts with Stephanie Avery.
What
I
an
think that's
amazing
your cue.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Well done. I'm Stephanie Avery, she, her. I am also a Toronto-based visual artist. I'm multidisciplinary. I also love intervening with found objects and found spaces. I like taking things that have a preconceived narrative, whether it be something that is mundane or even insidious, and giving it kind of a new meaning, a new context through intervention, be it with the Museum of Bad Gifts, which we're about to talk about, or other projects Shari and I have done together, like turning an empty lot into a provincial park by adding a bunch of fake signage, or even taking old billboard ads and painting directly onto them. So it totally disintegrates the original narrative and turns it into something that's very whimsical and fun. Overall, humor plays a very, very important role to what I do, and everything is kind of about empowerment through recontextualization and kind of finding these little spaces where we tend to feel either very overwhelmed by what's happening in the world, or like we have to put our heads in the sand and ignore all of it because
Mm.
we're so overwhelmed. And it's about finding these little places in between where we can subvert the narratives and make space for us to feel healed and empowered to make small positive changes with what capacities we have available to us. There you go.
I bet you all are like swimming in ideas right now for different types of art projects, considering where we are in the world. Talking about overwhelm, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are there current projects at the moment that you are working on?
Always
Oh
so many
yeah,
good projects.
there's
Well,
there's
we're
always a
hoping,
grant being written.
yeah, and we're hoping to do another edition of the Museum of Bad Gifts. I mean, we've run it twice now, and we hope to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And you always do that at December holiday time, right? Gift giving in the but do you ever do it for or collect gifts from, well, I shouldn't say that because even though folks are um giving you bad gifts, they could come from a birthday or a Valentine's Day or a whatever gift giving context, right?
Yeah, we make it very clear that we accept bad gifts from any context. We celebrate all bad gifts equally. We have it around the holiday season because that's when the gallery space was offered to us and that inspired the idea. But broadly speaking, we want anything that you consider to have been a bad gift.
Right. Where does this idea come from?
Well, we sat down one day, and Steph said that her friend had offered her this gallery space. Well, these people running the gallery weren't going to be there during the holiday time, and we were throwing ideas around. I don't know how this happened, really. We were just eating some snacks and throwing ideas around, and the Museum of Bad Gifts just came up, and it seemed like maybe this will work.
Mm-hmm. And obviously it did.
It
And
did
obviously it
work,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you get this gallery space. Did you have
Mhm.
to pitch the idea to the gallery folks, or were they like, you got a space, whatever you want to do with it's just fine?
Yeah, basically that. We worked with them before. We had a show that was Shari, myself, and a third collaborator. And we did an exhibit there that was basically a retrospective of our various urban intervention projects, as well as a showcase for the Parkdale Provincial Park, which I mentioned previously. So
Mhm.
they knew us and they trusted us to do something interesting with the space.
Okay. So I'm imagining myself sitting at the table, having a snack, and like, okay, so you're like, oh, this is a great idea. How do we do this? So where do you get the gifts from? What's the catalyst to
Well,
say, well, now we
we
need gifts?
yeah, we put out a call for submissions and tried to
Okay.
get people to donate or loan gifts to
Mm-hmm.
the museum because it could be either. Some bad gifts are also sentimental gifts, and those people want those items back, which is fine. But we did have to wrangle a lot of friends
Mm-hmm.
and, see if we could accumulate enough to put a show together. And once we started getting some press for the show, people would just come in and say, I heard this on the radio. I want to add this to your collection. And then so the museum obtained additional items throughout the course of the show.
Oh, so it was kind of like a maybe like a rolling submission process.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
really,
it kind of
but mhm. Yeah, it turned into that people would show up with like a hideous teacup slash vase and be like, "This was a terrible gift. Here's why I don't want it back. Take it,
yeah.
please.
I want it back, but take it, but I want it
I
back.
don't want it back."
Hmm.
Uh,
So, sorry to interrupt. I was
no,
just
please.
oh, thanks. Gonna add that because so many people were giving us objects that they did not want back to them, this was an excuse to get rid of this, item that had been shoved in the back of the closet for years. We decided to do a silent auction for the bad gifts that people didn't want back, and all the proceeds that we raised went directly to the food bank, so people could bid on it, turn someone's awful gift into something that they actually cherished, and we raised money for a good cause.
I love this idea.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it makes me chuckle in a way because for some for some people a bad gift is awful, and for somebody else they're going to look at it in a very different way. It's going to maybe resonate for them in some way, or resonate with them in a way that they want to gift it to somebody else. Or maybe they think it's so horrible, it's the joke gift they have to give. Like, I got this at the Museum of Bad Gifts, and it made me think of you because it's so awful. And like, now it's yours. Haha, sucker, you do something with it, right? Like, we have in my family, my dad started this bad gift wedding thing. Um, which is when the first cousins got married, um, he went to a thrift store and he found one of those like three-tiered like cake, not cake, dessert plates, right? With the three tiers. And
Mhm.
it was hideous. Like the worst putrid pea greens and browns and whatever. Like it was awful. And he turned it upside down and he signed the bottom of it and the year that they got married, and he packaged it up and he gave it to them as a wedding gift. And of course, when they opened it, they're married at, I can't remember how old they were, but like 24 years old, right? And they're like, he's like, it's your first piece of china kind of thing, and they opened it and it was ghastly, and it was meant to be a joke. And so now the tradition is that whoever has it gives it to the next person who gets married in the family.
Oh, that's
They give it to
perfect.
the next person, and then you continue to sign it on the bottom of the tiers of the plates. And
Hmm.
so anytime somebody gets married, we're like, like, I get to get rid of the plate, you're getting the plate, right? um, so sometimes the bad gift can be a fun family thing.
Yeah,
Although I
there
think
were,
at some point somebody's going to break it and say, sorry, like it's just going to be that
oh,
thing.
I
But
broke it. Wink,
yeah,
wink.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had some gifts that fell more into that category, including a card that Shari contributed.
A
Oh yeah.
card.
I yeah. It was kind of like a joke card. Many years ago, a friend and I were on our way to a wedding, and we weren't crazy about the guy that this person was marrying. And so we were looking in the card aisle on at the drugstore on our way to the wedding, and I saw a card that said on the front of it, "You're sick, and that's just wrong." And I was joking about giving it to the couple, which I didn't do, but it was a joke. And then when it came to this person's birthday, I saw that card again and I thought, oh, I'm going to give it to this friend for her birthday. And I've been doing that for like almost 20 years, probably.
The same card?
Yeah. I made copies of it.
Oh my gosh, that's
I
hilarious.
know.
I have
Yeah.
to ask, is the couple still married?
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious. I love it. I
We're
love it.
not in touch anymore.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, well, that's a whole other story for another episode.
Yeah, but let me just add to the our silent auction. So the starting bid for every item in this auction is $5.
Okay.
So it's very accessible, and even if it's a joke for someone, it's not gonna break the
Break the
bank
bank, right? And
necessarily.
were you
Yeah.
successful in being able to sell all of the items?
We
Not
sold a lot of
a lot.
things.
Hmm.
How much did we make, Steph? I think the first year was 200 something and the second year 300 something.
Yeah, that ballpark, like mid 200s and then mid 300s at this last one. Mhm.
What do
Yeah,
you do with the stuff that didn't sell?
it's in my basement. Or if it was too large and hideous, we had to curb a couple of things. However, our collection is currently in our storage unit, let's say.
Right. So this is the blessing and the curse of a project like this,
Yes.
is that the buck has to stop with the artist.
Yeah, how many bottles of nail polish are here? We had, someone offloaded the contents of their spa when they were getting new nail polish, and we had, I don't know, like we had over 100 bottles of nail polish in
We
the
had
exhibit, and we
150.
had them
Yeah.
in lots of 10 in the auction, but they didn't all go.
Oh, you didn't just be like, take them all for $5? That's what I would have done.
Yeah, we should have, but who's gonna want to take 150 bottles of nail polish?
Well,
Big.
that's the gig. That's the gig. You know? I see that on Marketplace all the time. You want the one thing, you can have it, but you got to take the other thing too. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
And then it's your problem to unload it.
yeah.
Well,
Next year.
I hope that, maybe you start painting your nails different colors, and I don't know, maybe you can make an art project out of it. Are your nails painted different colors?
Well, it looks like it because they're chipped, but
Stephanie's showing us her nails.
is
Yeah, they're
so
sparkly green, it looks like.
yeah, like a sparkly turquoise, and this color, even though it's chipping off, is from the collection of nail polish.
This is a lifetime's worth of nail polish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very, very interesting. Well, we're going to show a video clip because this is you all on Global News this past December, and I was getting ready in the morning, doing my morning routine. I might have been flossing my teeth, and I, out of the corner of my ear, hear this thing called the Museum of Bad Gifts, and I literally went to my TV and rewound it, thinking, did I just hear what I thought I heard? Where is this thing? And I was so wishing it was in Vancouver, but alas, it was in Toronto. But I was so like, how do I get there? How do I get there? So let's just show this clip. It's pretty easy to follow, folks, and you don't have to worry about the stuff hanging on the walls because we're going to show you pictures of them and talk about them and do that whole thing. So, Rick, will you show us the global video clip of the Museum of Bad Gifts? And we'll come right back.
It's a shell beast. Some people have said, is this a snail? And it's possible.
We've all been there. We've unwrapped a present, smiled politely, and immediately wondered, what am I going to do with this? Well, those awkward moments are now on display at the Museum of Bad Gifts.
It's a celebration of awkward presents and kind of the mismatch in the giving receiving situation that a lot of us find ourselves in.
From gifts that missed the mark to gifts that missed entirely, like this three-headed porcelain doll.
This is terrifying.
It is terrifying, but it's so kind of creepy that it deserves a place in the museum.
Proving that sometimes the greatest present is the gift receipt, if returning is even an option.
Waxed bacon, dental floss, and bacon-flavored toothpicks. This is really weird. This is a tooth sculpture a dental hygienist received from a client.
Whether it's 150 bottles of used nail polish or an ugly cat sweater, every gift here has a story, and almost all of them include a forced smile and a very awkward thank you.
Because, one bad gift for one person is a great gift for another person.
This tiny pan is hilarious because the person bought it thinking it was a full-sized pan and it arrived this size.
$140?
Yes, $140.
Visitors can also draw the bad gifts they've received.
It's a real release for them emotionally, which we didn't expect.
Or take home merch.
The curators, me and Steph, put our own creations at the Bad gift shop, and we also made museum merch. And these stickers feature some of the items that were at the exhibit last year, the pig and the cow hoof carafe.
You can also bid on gifts in a silent auction with proceeds going to the Daily Bread Food Bank.
Those cat nails that appeared in last year's exhibit even went at the bad gift auction.
This museum runs until January 4th at the Northern Contemporary Gallery. So before you re-gift, return, or hide that gift in your closet, you might want to consider bringing it here and giving it the spotlight it deserves. Lexi Benedict, Global News.
The best gift is the gift receipt. I loved that. Tell me about the cat nails. What are the cat nails all about?
It was, I believe it was someone who, this person and their best friend were just exchanging weird gifts or passing back, like gifts back and forth, and they were weird. Steph, do you remember more of the story about this? It was from the year.
Are they
before.
real cat nails? Like literally,
They
like
were
somebody,
real cat nails.
so they're
And
like
then,
somebody cutting their cat's nails and putting them in a bag, and
yes, there was a small baggie, and they went at the auction, and I know the person who bought them, and she said, I forget the story. There was she was sharing her office space with someone who had a cat, and then the two people had a falling out, and then she ended up throwing out the little baggie of cat nails, and this was released for her, and it was a closure from this situation that happened within her office. But yeah, that was especially strange.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I have this visual in my mind now of scattering cat nail clippings, basically,
Mm-hmm.
like you scatter ashes into the ocean. I like
Yeah.
that kind of like closure sense. It's like you need to let this go. Here's a bag of cat nails, and
Yeah.
scatter them to
And
the wind.
yeah, and this person bought those cat nails, or I mean, put her name on the list for the auction and then won them for $5 when she was on a date with someone who was horrified.
Oh, what a story! Are they
There
together?
was no second date.
Oh, there was no second date because that's a story you tell your grandkids. Like that's hilarious. Okay, well,
Yeah.
because it's I just can't imagine being in a museum with a baggie of cat nail trimmings on the wall as like.
Yeah.
Are there other things that have come in, things that we won't experience tonight, that have shocked you when you get them?
Hmm. Steph, is anything come to mind?
It's hard. Like everything is shocking in a way. Like sometimes they're just horrifying to look at, and that's shocking. But then something that is quite benign or even cute is shocking once we read the story of what made it a bad gift. So I think in a way every object is shocking. I don't know if anything in particular stands out to me as being like
Because
the most
context is everything.
exactly.
Bacon. Oh yeah, context is everything, like you mentioned earlier. But the bacon, was it floss and
Yeah.
toothpicks? That's something I didn't imagine existed in the world.
Yeah, I guess there's that Romeo and Juliet sculpture from some friends of mine. So they gave it to me. It's a couple, and one of their parents just has a habit of giving them really unhinged gifts. So they first they gave it to me for me to repurpose it and turn it into an art piece. And I was like, no, first this has to go into the Museum of Bad Gifts. And it looks from a distance like a very boring little sculpture, about like 6 inches wide by 4 inches tall, of Romeo and Juliet. And then you look up close, and Juliet has just got very prominent nipples, very, very prominent nipples. Why you decided this was appropriate for the sculpture? And then why would their mom give it to them?
Right. Right. Who was thinking I gotta give this to somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where would you even find this to buy this? Okay, one other thing I have to ask you before we get into our first gift, which is the clip mentions that people can draw their gifts. So they come in and they're like inspired, like we're telling stories about gifts, and it's like, but I don't have it anymore, or this happened a long time ago. So you literally have like a station where people can sit down and
Yeah,
draw.
we had a bad gift drawing station, and all of the drawings were accompanied by stories from the people who drew those bad gifts, and we posted them on the wall. So in addition to all of the bad gifts in the show, we had this huge wall of bad gift drawings.
Mm-hmm.
And our museum had another component, which was the bad gifts that were reimagined by artists and made into works of art.
Okay, touch on that briefly because I know we're going to show a couple of those. So what was the concept there? Just like you're talking about the Romeo and Juliet statue, because you made something out of that?
Not yet, but
Not yet. Okay.
yeah, it's in the queue.
So this is when somebody was gifted something. How does
Hmm.
this work?
So we also had an open call, a separate open call from the one that was just for bad gifts. We had an open call specifically to visual artists to basically task them to take a bad gift that they had received, that they'd held on to for whatever reason, and transform that bad gift into an original piece of artwork. So, giving it a whole new life and new context and new form, turning something that they thought was perhaps hideous or inappropriate and turning it into something beautiful or whimsical or strange, but really, putting new life into it. And that was a whole wall that was dedicated to those pieces.
Right, which in their own right could be a bad gift.
Depending on who got them, absolutely.
Yes,
Let the cycle
absolutely.
continue.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to experience some of the things that were displayed in the museum. So shall we kick off with our first bad gift?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So I know Rick's got the whole queue here going. All right. So this is the three-headed doll. Tell me about the three-headed doll.
Okay, should I do this?
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sherry, go
So
for it.
so this three-headed doll, I think it's from the 50s or so. Let me read the description from the person who donated this or loaned it to the museum because this was on loan.
Okay.
And each item at the museum was accompanied by a small description from the person who offered it to us, and it explained what made the gift so bad
Right.
in their opinion.
Right.
So this one was called Creepy Doll, and the person wrote, "My daughter was gifted this terrifying three-headed doll on her second Christmas by her great-grandfather. It's a vintage toy he kept from his own childhood, from a time when families couldn't afford multiple dolls. So one doll was made with three rotating heads displaying awake, sleeping, and crying for fun. The porcelain elements of the doll make it a cold and hard toy for any modern day child, and the faces are quite frankly terrifying. Now, it's let me explain. There's one head with three separate faces on on the various sides. So one is kind of looking like surprised slash ecstatic. Another is crying and terrified, and another version of creepy doll, and it's wearing this beige sort of an old-timey bonnet and beige gown outfit. And when you rotate the doll's head, it makes a sound, kind of like
Oh,
horror
like the
movie
porcelain
sound.
rubbing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it adds to I found it really added to that creepy feeling of this doll. But because it's an heirloom, the person wanted it back. But it was a real highlight of this past show. It drew really a lot of attention. And the other thing you need to know about this doll is you can only actually, if you're looking at it, you can see one facial expression because the bonnet is covering the other two faces.
Right.
And so then you can rotate to see a different face and cover and put the bonnet on again, and then you'll just see this other facial expression. Um, Anything else, Steph? What did I miss?
Well, let's just get
I
Rick to zoom in on the because there's two photos here side by
Oh
side, so you
yeah, we
can.
have two of the faces here.
Yeah, so there's two faces showing. So Rick, if you zoom in on the face on the doll on the left-hand side, same doll, but the photo on the left-hand side, this is the ecstatic face, right?
Oh yeah.
So its
yeah.
eyes are like really
Huge
wide
wide eyes.
and its cheeks are really puffy and it's kind of are those just its lips or is its tongue kind of sticking out a little bit?
I think those are lips.
Just the big okay, just the big lips. And so I
Hard to
can
tell.
the old-timey outfit is like it almost feels like a christening outfit
Mm-hmm.
a little bit.
Could
It's
be.
like white and lacy or the kind of thing that you would put the child to bed in, but like
Uh-huh.
I mean we're talking in the 50s, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like the kind of pajamas you'd wear today.
Mm-hmm.
But the
No.
blonde there's the blonde hair, I think that's underneath it. And so
No, it's just
No,
bald.
oh, is it
or
just bald?
so what you're
Oh, yeah.
seeing,
Okay.
yeah, it's
So this is interesting what I'm making out now that you say this.
mm-hmm.
So where the doll's ears would be, so folks can probably imagine on a doll's head where the ears would be. There's porcelain that shapes the cheeks of the other side of the faces. Yeah. So
Yes.
the bonnet kind of covers that. And
Yeah.
so if you were to take the head and like turn it counterclockwise, it's going to be a different face facing forward.
Mhm.
Either
Or
Yeah.
the screaming child or what is it, a sleeping child or something? I don't know.
something like that. But yeah, if you were to just take the bonnet off and rotate the doll where the back of its head should be, it's just more faces.
It's just more faces.
More
Yeah.
faces.
Exactly.
And what's the size of this doll? Like this is, you know, it's not like a little, it's not like, I don't know. It's not a little doll you hold in your hand. This is like, I don't know, like a toddler sized doll. Like,
It's not like the size of a newborn baby.
okay.
Because when I was carrying it, I'm not a naturally maternal person, and that was the most maternal I'd ever felt in my life. It just felt like a precious newborn.
Rick, want to zoom in on the other face for us? So is this the like screaming, crying, scary face?
Yeah. Yeah. It looks just so like it's in agony, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's got like a
it's
wrinkled brow and
yeah,
eyes are
and
squeezed
squinty
tightly.
eyes and like a screaming mouth shape.
Yeah, it's that gaping mouth.
Hmm.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's
it's wailing.
yeah. Yeah, and I heard I don't know if everybody heard it, but the sound that the dolls had made in the video
Oh yeah, in the
when you
video
turned
you
it, you
can
could
hear.
hear that like the sound of the porcelain kind of scraping a little bit. And yeah, so this is like the kind of doll that's in a horror movie
Yeah.
that chases you around
Yeah.
or sits in a corner and stares at you and does creepy things when
Mhm.
you're not looking. Yeah, it's one of those
Yeah.
dolls. All right. Well, and the person who donated this or lent it,
Yeah.
do you know where they keep it? Like, is it
Hidden,
in a drawer somewhere, or do they tell
hidden
you?
in her home because her daughter is horrified by it. And so she's a friend of mine. When she brought out the doll to bring it to the museum, her daughter was like, "Why is that out? Why would you ever take that out.
That would not be in my house. I'm just saying. It just wouldn't be.
A lot of people were very disappointed that it was not available in the auction.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. I can imagine. But it does look to be, from my perspective, like in really good shape.
Hmm.
Like as creepy as it is, either somebody took
Yeah.
really good care of it because porcelain dolls don't last, right? They break, they shatter, whatever. Or somebody was so scared of it, they never touched it.
Yeah.
I
I
think
didn't
it's
play with it.
how fun it is.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was fun. What have we got next, Rick? We were talking about chia pets last week. So first, does somebody one of you want to explain what a chia pet is? Because that was a concept that not everybody was familiar with.
Yeah, it's kind of this novelty item where it's a terracotta sculpture that's in the shape of I guess is the Bob Ross one the most famous chia pet? It'll be like the shape. Or no, it was a
No,
landscape.
it was that like it looked like a horse or something,
I
like
think it
an
was
animal.
It's like a
yeah
Scooby-Doo or something.
yeah, I think it was like shaped like a sheep that was
A
totally
sheep,
torn.
yeah.
It's a sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sheep. That's right.
Yeah, and you would plant seeds in it, and it would grow out through little holes in its body, and eventually grow and look like a sheep with like a full coat, except that it's green and
Hmm.
made of plants. And so it was so popular that it diversified, and there were so many other kind of novelty Chia sculptures that came from it, including Bob Ross. With if anyone is familiar with Bob Ross, he was a painter who was televised for many years, where he would do painting tutorials of happy little trees, all these beautiful landscapes you could follow along with. And he was notorious for this big afro
Afro.
hairstyle. So at one point,
Hmm.
they had chia pets of his head. So again, like with the sheep, you would get it, and he would be bald, and then you would put in the seeds, and this hair, this beautiful lush green hair, would grow out of it. And so I think there were a lot of variants on that.
They certainly licensed it to a
Yeah.
Yeah,
lot of like well-known,
very.
like Scooby-Doo and like a lot of big names.
Mhm.
Um,
And they're chia seeds, and that's why it's called a chia pet. And then
Mhm.
the chia seeds make grass, like essentially.
yeah, essentially. And I think if I remember from some of the, because these were on like late night, like shopping type
Yeah,
shows,
Mhm. Mhm.
chia, and
exactly.
you had to like wet them and like smother them on or something.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
weren't actually planting them into the ceramic. So you have to imagine that the little holes are like pores.
Hmm.
So it's not like a big hole that you could stick something in, but if you smothered it on like icing on
Seed
a
pod.
cake,
Yeah.
yeah, and then so then you kind of have these smothered seeds on, and then you water it, and they grow. And so this is a
Yeah.
chia pet of who is
Willie
this is
Nelson.
Willie Nelson, a chia pet of Willie Nelson,
And
singer. So
Willie Nelson doesn't have an afro, so it's a really interesting choice of Chia Pet um, for the Chia Pet company.
yeah, so Willie Nelson uh had braids, correct?
Long braids,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, one on each
And
side that went down. I don't know
hmm
how far down they went, but down halfway down his chest or something.
hmm
So this chia pet has braids, and you put the chia seeds on his braids?
Yeah, and this Willie Nelson has a red bandana, and so it looks like from the picture on the box, it looks like the chia seeds are on the top portion of his head and down the long braids that drape across his chest.
So this green is like, oh my gosh, it's like the
Yeah,
hair on his head and it's the hair on his braids.
yeah. Should
Willie
I
Nelson
read
has
the
green hair.
thing that the
Yeah,
person
please.
wrote?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, it is the gift that keeps on being regifted. Someone once gave me a Barack Obama chia pet, and it was a good gift. I loved it for many very green afros. I was heartbroken when it broke. That very same friend gave me a Willie Nelson chia pet. Though I love Willie Nelson, it is not quite the same. I regifted it to my friend Anthea because her boyfriend is more of a Willie Nelson fan than I am. I loved how this gift is one that seems to be perpetually in transit from one friend to another, but no one really needs to keep it. Stephen received a Willie Nelson Chia Pet for Christmas last year. Now I have Willie Nelson back, and I'm happy. I'm trying to keep it happy, but it has not been used. And this person wanted it back.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So
Hmm.
This Willie Nelson has never had hair. I wonder if
No.
those chia seeds would even be viable anymore. They probably have a
Eh,
shelf life. No?
yes, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Well,
would be really curious. I would really like this person to see if it can grow some if Willie can grow some green hair.
yeah,
Maybe it will make a reappearance next year with an inappropriate afro.
yeah, yeah. And these aren't huge, right? This is a like a bust of Willie Nelson. And how big would you like if you had to compare it to something
Hmm. It's
similar in size?
like the size of a decent sized mug.
Yeah, like a
Like
big
it
one.
Oh, it's that small?
is not that big. It's like I don't know. Is it like 6 inches tall, seven
Okay.
inches or so?
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7 with like a 4 inch diameter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's smaller than I expected it to be.
Well, it
Yeah.
You
gets
know, it's
smaller once you plant the chia, I presume.
Yeah, that's true.
hmm and the box is quite funny as well. There's a large picture of the Chia Pet with hair with that green with the green braids. And then in the corner there's a photograph of Willie Nelson playing the guitar, which is just really, I don't know. It's the box, they've made it look quite kitschy
Hmm.
with this Willie Nelson thing and the red bandana. And it says Willie Nelson, an American icon, and kind of like a font that is kind of reminiscent of country music or something.
Hmm. So this was an item then that didn't make it to the auction, I'm guessing.
No, it was not in the auction.
Not in the auction. That would also have been scooped up pretty quickly. They
People
wouldn't have
did
thought.
ask about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Hmm.
wanted it. Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. Maybe at some point in the future, Willie will grow some hair
You can only
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see Willie
with
with
green
green
hair.
hair. Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
can imagine Barack Obama would have been a nice chia pet to have.
I really can't imagine Barack Obama with an
Green
afro. I just can't. Now I want to have a Bob Ross and a Barack Obama beside each other trying to grow hair at the same time and like have a an afro race.
hair.
Um, See who wins. Okay. What's our next bad gift gonna look like? Come on, Rick. This feels like a lottery. Let's zoom in on this one a little bit.
Oh,
I
this
don't even I don't even know
so,
what this is.
so I'll explain this. This is something that I received as there's two items I received as a gift, and there were two in a series of many. I'll explain the story. I Years ago, I was in Wales and I found a plastic toy zebra on a dock, and I started taking many, many, many pictures of it. And this was before phones had cameras inside of them.
Right.
And I just took a ton of pictures, and I had shared them. MySpace was around at the time, and I had
Oh,
a
I
few of them
remember
on
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah.
And I shared this with a friend of mine, and then she started buying me anything that had a zebra on it or a zebra print. And so these two items that appeared in the museum, one is a candle holder that's about 4 inches tall or 5 inches tall, and it looks like a portion of a tree No branches, nothing, just like a chunk of the tr a trunk of a tree with a zebra head emerging from an oval hole in the trunk, and it's a candle holder with a space on top for a tea light.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so it's like the zebra is inside the tree trunk, sticking its head
Hmm.
out.
Exactly. And the other item here is another candle. I mean, the other one was a candle holder. This one is a candle, and it has a variety of animal prints collaged together, and a portion of it has zebra print on it. And so these were two, and I mean, I don't particularly have an affinity towards zebras.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just really kind of interesting to get these zebra items, especially the one with a zebra's head coming out of a like the base of a tree.
That it's just so random.
It's
Like
random, yeah.
this kind of tree trunk, I would think, is maybe not even found in Africa. Like it feels like a very
Yeah.
West Coast tree to me. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know my tree species that well, but
No,
it
no,
doesn't
me
feel
neither.
like it's an African tree trunk to me.
I mean, I have no idea. It's just like a very weird juxtaposition of things.
Yeah.
Like a zebra's not going to be in a tree ever.
No. Rick, can you
But
get a
here, a zebra is emerging, a zebra head is emerging from a tree. And yeah, so that was my contribution to the museum. Not this edition of the museum, but the previous year.
Yeah, that's wacky. Did that go in the
Mhm.
auction?
No,
So somehow you're
it's so
still
bizarre.
sentimental.
It is a little bit. It's just so bizarre. I've never seen anything quite like it.
That is a thing when you have a gift that's weird and wacky.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's starting to make my brain go about all the weird and wacky gifts that my family has received, and now I'm like, oh, that would have been great for the museum, but I'm not. It's not going on the auction, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
So there you go. All
Yeah.
right,
yeah.
It's also,
I go ahead. Yeah.
oh, I was just going to say, just kind of briefly on that note, when we were bringing this up to people, especially in year one, so many people were like, oh, I don't think I've ever received a bad gift. And then they just started thinking about it and they're like,
Hmm.
wait a second. And because we've all, at a certain point in time, received bad gifts. And then it was just like this floodgate opening up because it's something that we put to the back of the literal closet, but also kind of to the back of the like metaphorical closet of our brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely something that we've all gone through.
I think it's a weird thing. Like as a person with legal blindness, like I've been given picture frames, and it's like that's nice, but like
But why?
I, I the pictures that I have that I have seen before are the pictures that I'm going to use, and I'm not going to put
Mhm.
new pictures in them.
Right.
And I received books that are like with really small print in them, and I'm like,
Oh,
Oh
that's
no.
a really odd gift to give to me, but
Oh
thank
no.
you. Like I don't quite understand.
Hmm.
Like those kinds of things. And I don't know, like that's not necessarily a bad gift. It's just an unthoughtful gift. I don't know. I don't know
It's
where to
not
place that.
suitable.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why context is key. Because
Context is key. That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
And as a diabetic, I'm a type 1 diabetic since childhood. I used to get gifts of candy all the time.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I'd be like, "Thanks, but I can't eat that."
Yeah.
Um, you know, so
Yeah, at the
those are the kind of
museum
things.
there was a variety of things that are just not suitable,
Not
and then
suitable, yeah.
things that are just like really weird, and it's like what, how did this happen? It was a like there's a range
Yeah.
of
All right. Well, I think we can move on from the animal print. I too have a lot of animal print stuff, and it became like
Mhm.
a thing. You buy one thing, and all of a sudden, it's the only thing you can have from then
Yeah.
on. And as I'm downsizing, there's a lot of animal print stuff I'm putting on Marketplace.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at our next one, Rick. All right, we're gonna have to zoom in a little bit on this because it's.
Goes with the animal theme.
I do not. Okay. I mean, I think, Stephanie, did we lose you? We don't have a square for you. Did your camera go
Uh,
off?
no,
I
I'm
see
still here.
Steph.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I
oh.
have, so my iPad's being a bit glitchy, so I also have
No, I
it
think you
in
somehow
my,
just unspotlighted somehow, but now we got
uh,
you.
all right, good, good.
All right.
But
What is this and where did it come from?
oh boy, how to describe this? So this is about it's a bottle, like a fancy bottle made out of a cow's hoof. It's a carafe made out of a cow's hoof, so the very bottom of it is the hoof, and then I guess the lower part of the leg has been hollowed out and turned into a bottle, and then at the top it kind of tapers into the bottleneck and a screw top, and then there's a beautiful ribbon that connects the screw top to the hoof at the bottom, so it can be, I don't know, tossed over your shoulder and hung like a purse or a bag. This was purchased for actually some friends of mine for their wedding, for them from a friend of theirs who at the time was living in Colombia. So this is specifically a Colombian carafe. It's very traditional there. And so when he was coming back to Canada for the wedding, he actually bought two of these for them as gifts that would normally be displayed. It's more for display purposes, I think, than function, but to be displayed on like a mantle or in a cabinet. But they don't even have those things to display it if they wanted to, which I don't believe they do. But they've kept it. This was another one that was not up for auction, to many people's disappointment, because again, there's something still very sentimental, even though they do hate it. There's something very sentimental about this object that was brought all the way from Colombia by their friend when he came up, from a whole other continent for their wedding.
Is it lined on the inside? Okay, if it's a cow hoof,
Mhm.
it has to be lined on the inside with some kind of plastic or glass, right? To drink out of, because otherwise you're drinking out of leather.
Yeah, I don't think we ever opened it to find out. I do assume that it's lined with something because it is theoretically meant to be functional. I'm sure it's not just like raw flesh on the inside, but who knows?
But who knows?
Who knows?
I actually thought it might have been like a decorative thing that you put a wine bottle in
Mm.
and not like
The wine goes in, but also I don't
Okay, I
know.
just Googled it.
Oh,
It
nice.
says it says they are generally lined on the inside.
generally.
Generally.
Oh,
They are typically hollowed out authentic cow hooves that have been repurposed into functional water-resistant containers.
wow.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, does it say what era these are from? Like this has got to be something. This is obviously, I would think this is something born out of necessity at a time, right? Like somebody's traveling over distances.
Well, I think it's a traditional thing in
Yeah.
Colombia, and this carafe has Colombian colors on it. There's a strap and near the lid. Oh, it says oh wait, no.
Well, in their
They were
write
you
up,
sorry?
it's I'm just looking at the write up that they gave us for the museum, and
Mm-hmm.
it says it's traditionally used to drink the local fire water.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
So, yep, it is absolutely meant to be functional. It is traditional, but they do still make them to this day. This isn't something that he purchased, vintage from an antique market. I think he probably purchased it at a shop, brand new, and brought
Yeah.
it and its
Yeah.
companion to them.
Yeah. This just make like if you bought two of them, it makes me wonder, did he buy like a front left and a front right? Or a back left and a back right? Like talk about the
Oh,
whole two
Bessie the
left foot
cow.
thing. Yeah.
Poor
But
Bessie.
are they from the same cow? Okay. Anyways, that's where my mind goes with these things. All right. Well,
He's being
um,
with the museum.
yeah, it's a very interesting thing to have an actual real cow hoof that you would just stop and take a swig out of, and then
Yeah.
on your way.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kind of flask.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
But no, it's they're not going to forget it anytime soon.
No, no. They should have had their wine toast, their wedding toast out of it.
Next
Now, if the gift giver had brought it back with fire water in it, maybe.
No.
All right.
He doesn't live in Colombia anymore now. He lives in Switzerland, so he'll have to find the
Oh,
Swiss equivalent next time he comes in.
I bet you there's just as unique traditional things in Switzerland. Let's take a look at what the next bad gift has to offer.
Oh, this was one of my favorites.
See, you do have a favorite. All right.
Oh, so many. I have so many. How to describe this?
It's like, okay. It's like it's a sculpture of a set of teeth. However, in the place of lips, it's a purple zipper, and the set of teeth are embedded within kind of like a cement rock. Okay, that sounded bonkers. I'm going to read to you what the person wrote. A friend who is a dental hygienist received this from a client as thanks for her work. She thought it was really creepy, which it is, and didn't want it in her house. She knows my taste and gave it to me. I love it, but my partner hates it and makes me hide it, even though I would love to display it proudly. One person's creepy tooth sculpture is another person's treasure. Yeah, so it looks like potentially I mean, you can't do up the zipper to hide the teeth because, but the zipper is open, framing the set of teeth, and the gums are purple as well, but like more like a mauve as opposed to like a stronger shade of purple for the zipper.
And it's a big toothy grin kind of thing. Like it's a creepy grin, but you see the full set of teeth like from the molars all the way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it does look like you could potentially zip the mouth shut.
Potentially, if you could just like,
It's interesting to me that you said that that the teeth are embedded into a rock. Because I
like
actually thought that this
cement.
was fabric.
No, it's like a rock. It's like you could use it as a very good paperweight.
So what's the size of this?
Hmm.
I'm
What
gonna
is the size?
I'm gonna say like 4 by 4 by 4 in your
Yeah.
Four by
range.
four. So is that like a grapefruit?
Yes. A large grapefruit.
Yeah, a cantaloupe?
No.
Okay.
A
Yes.
It
cantaloupe? No.
doesn't have to be precise, but
No,
okay.
it's more like grapefruit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit larger than life size if you were like a large person with a big jaw.
Okay.
And the teeth are so white, but there's like a bit of a chip on one of them. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're very white.
And so I'm guessing the teeth are um I don't know. Like they're not I'm guessing that they're made out of like I don't know, clay or
Clay.
ceramic or something.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a dental prop, like when you go to your
No.
dentist and it's a tool that they use to show you how your teeth work, a model. That's what I'm getting at. It's
Mhm.
somebody like, built a mold and filled a mold and poured a mold and,
It,
A lot of work went into this.
yeah.
I'm really curious what, like how and why. Like I have we don't know how this came to be, but it's so unique. And the person did want it back. It wasn't part of the auction.
It is one of the creepiest things. And do you know what it kind of reminds? This is a really, really random like parallel, but
Mm.
somehow it reminds me of oh, this is my brain at this time of night. And it's not even Eastern time. Um, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes. Yeah.
It reminds me of the plant from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something really, really creepy about it. Just like this isolated set of teeth with a zipper for lips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to move on from that. Uh, yeah, nope, that's enough of that. Because somebody would have had to have cut that rock to make it a top and a half, like a top part and a bottom half, right? Because it's the jaw,
It,
the top of the jaw, and the
it's
bottom of the
like
jaw.
I think it's just cement. Is it cement?
Oh,
I think
I always thought it was a real rock, but I
you
guess
thought it was a rock? I thought it was just, I don't know.
well, that
yeah.
means then that they poured it purposely
Yeah.
to look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I guess to get the teeth in there so perfectly, it must have been like a cement casting. Maybe the whole thing,
Yeah.
including the teeth, and then they just painted the teeth this mauve and white.
Yeah.
And
Maybe there's a whole series of these somewhere.
maybe, and it's the zipper of the lips that hides the imperfections of where the two things come together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was too hard to make lips.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Zipper will work.
The zipper will work.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on from this one.
Okay.
On that note.
On that note,
Oh.
this one was referenced in the recording of the commercial, not the commercial, the news spot.
Yes.
All right,
It's a shell beast.
a shell beast.
Okay, this is like a really, 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 really heavy sculpture that's large, like as big as a cat.
Okay.
Ah, is it as big as a cat? It's like as big as a cat. It's
Yeah.
very heavy, and it has lots of pointy shells all over it, pointing all which ways, and even it has so many fangs coming out of it. Like it looks like it has fangs because of the shells that are coming out at the mouth
And each of
area.
these individual shells, the long ones, are probably like these are those shells that are shaped like a bugle.
Yeah, they look
Remember
like
that snack, the
the
bugle snack?
snack.
You ever
Yeah,
used to
they're
put them on your finger
exactly
like it was a
bugle
long nail?
snacks.
Uh,
Yeah.
and some of them are like 2 or 3 inches long. Like they're big.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and they're sticking out all over the place like it's a woolly mammoth or something.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. The person who donated or no, wait, they donated it, right?
Auctioned.
This got auctioned?
This one got
Yes. How
Oh,
much did it go for? Do you remember? Like maybe $10 or something.
Yeah, when it starts at $5 and the minimum bid is $1 more, you feel like you're having a bidding war, and then it's like $10, $12. But it did have a number of bids on it, so I'd say it went for at least $10.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all have the description handy that
Oh yeah, let
I
me
put in?
read it.
Ooh,
It's
those are
just
smart.
brief. It says, "My daughter gave this to me and I just hate it. She thinks it's wonderful and horrid at the same time, and it's heavy as heck."
So when I received this photo from you all, I had no idea what, like, I just couldn't make heads or tails of it.
Hmm.
Because it's all like one. I know it's shade. It's variances of like pinks and beiges, but for me it looks like one color.
Yeah,
Because I can't distinguish the context, the contrast of the different
right,
colors.
right.
Um, and so I threw it into ChatGPT just to see what it
Hmm.
would say. And so what did it? Do you still have the description it pulled
Oh
out?
yeah. Should I
This came
read?
from some stuff that y'all posted and whatever. But yeah, if you can give it a read for us, see if it makes any contextual sense.
Steph, you want to read it?
I shall. Let me open up
Okay.
the chat. Oh, you know what? I don't have the chat anymore because I
Okay,
changed
I'll
it.
read it. This image shows a small sculptural artwork. It's not true, it's not small, it's more like a cat size. Um, Sculptural artwork displayed in a gallery setting enclosed in a clear acrylic or plexiglass case. The case sits on a white pedestal. Inside the case is a dense tactile sculpture made primarily of seashells. It is exclusively seashells, actually. The form resembles a fantastical creature, something between a sea animal and a spiky armored beast. Its body is compact and rounded, but entirely covered in tightly packed, elongated spiral shells that jut outward in all directions like spikes or quills. These shells are mostly pale beige to soft pink, with subtle, natural striping creating a textured, almost bristling surface. Toward the front, the creature has a more defined face area. There's a large curved shell that reads like a tusk or horn protruding forward and slightly downward. Around it are layered shells arranged to suggest a mouth or snout with overlapping forms that give it a slightly aggressive or defensive expression. A few flatter fan-shaped shells near the front resemble ears or decorative armor plates. The sculpture rests on a smooth, curved wooden base, which contrasts with the rough, intricate shell textures above it. The wood is warm-toned and polished, grounding the otherwise chaotic surface of the creature. Lighting from above casts soft shadows beneath the spikes. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It gives us a
Yeah,
decent.
that's pretty much it. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
it's a
ugly.
lot, it's just a lot of shells. And there must be something at its core that makes it extremely heavy.
Yeah, it does make you wonder how those shells are attached. I
Oh
assume
yeah.
it's glue, but because they're all like pointy and jetted out, I guess you would have to carry this from its base,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so heavy that I would imagine, like, I know when I carry heavy stuff, I have to kind of hold it close to my chest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like I
You
don't know
wouldn't
that
want to
you
carry
wouldn't
this
want to
close to your
do
chest,
that.
no.
Yeah, because it would be kind of pointy, or you would break it because I don't know how those things are attached, right?
Yeah, it's
Seashells
very
are,
spiky and
yeah.
fragile, and it is certainly a shell beast.
Its name, it lives up to its name. I wonder
Yes.
how the person who bought it took it home.
Mm, I
Carefully.
hope they had a car.
You imagine taking this on the bus?
Did they take it on the bus?
Well, I think when they brought it to us, they had it in like a big shopping bag, and it was like swaddled in bubble wrap or
Oh
like
yeah.
paper.
Well, this
Yeah.
is the first item that actually went up on the auction. So from what we've
And
seen tonight,
so I found the auction sheet, and it sold for $25.
Wow.
$25.
Started at 5, and then it jumped up to 20, and then it sold for 25.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Somebody really wanted it.
someone
Yeah.
really Hell Beast.
What a story.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Bye-bye, Shell Beast forever.
Hello.
These are kind of cute.
Yes, this is one of those gifts that when people looked at it, they were like, well, this is very nice. Why would this be considered a bad gift? And again, this is why context matters. So this was actually a gift that was given to me by my
So
sister.
these are yours, Stephanie? Yeah, okay.
They were, because these went up for auctions. So what you're looking at, it's two cardinals, two ceramic cardinals. It's salt and pepper shakers shaped like
They're Cardinals the bird, not
yes,
Cardinals.
not a sports team.
Or I was thinking like from the Vatican.
Oh, see that
That would be an interesting gift.
yeah. So they're very sweet. They're salt and pepper shakers, so they fit comfortably in the palms of your hand. Bright red with little orange beaks. My sister-in-law, whose love language is gift giving, but doesn't know me very well, gave these to me, which missed the mark for a number of reasons. First of all, they're not to my taste. Second of all, I've been living on my own for many years, so I have my own salt and pepper shakers already, so I don't need more. But the main thing is because I'm perpetually single, she got this to me as like a couple to symbolize like me finding love what did I write down? They were supposed to symbolize a happy couple and bring me good luck and love. They did not, and I'm still as single as ever. So, but what was pointed out later on that made it even funnier that I didn't realize when I got them is that the red cardinals are the males in the species. So she actually,
so she gave you a set of gay birds.
yeah, she gave me a cute little gay bird couple, but you know, it did fulfill its task, and maybe it did for whoever won them in the auction.
How are you supposed to know which one is salt and which one is pepper?
I think traditionally it was salt and pepper shakers, so when it has more holes,
Just the holes?
Salt, and when it's fewer, it's supposed to be the pepper.
I've heard both ways. One person
What?
said to me, yeah, I know. I agree with you though. Morals, salt.
Whoa.
No,
Yeah.
it's more holes pepper. My salt and pepper shakers have 1 hole for the salt and like 5 holes for the pepper.
Yeah.
Huh. I think we should do a poll. Can we do a Zoom poll?
Everybody go and check your salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
My salt and pepper shakers now are different shapes because before they were exactly the same, and trying to feel the holes was like, well, now I'm just like manhandling. That's not the right term. I'm just like fondling the top of the pepper shaker, and like nobody wants to do that at the dinner table, right? I'll just like put my fingerprints all over it. Like, who cares if there's bits of mashed potato on them? You know, here, would you like me to pass the salt and pepper to you? So you know, it's kind of nice to have 2 different things, and sometimes they come in a set too, like a, I don't know, a Frosty and a something else, holiday-ish or whatever. But you can find things that are 2 different. I think
these would have been a bad gift for you because there's no way of
there's no way. Yeah, they're identical, mostly identical anyways. Great. I actually don't.
Oh, sorry.
I said I actually don't put salt on anything, so I don't really need a salt shaker.
There you go. Just put pepper in both of them and you're set.
Yeah.
One will give you a lot of pepper and one will give you a little.
I love it. We're just 2 different kinds of pepper. Whatever comes out, comes out. What were you going to say about these?
Oh, how it's like they're very sweet, and for the right person, they would have genuinely made a lovely gift. Unlike many of the others, which are a bit more objectively bad gifts, this you might look at it and objectively say, this is very sweet, this is a very nice gift. It just wasn't the right gift for me.
Yeah, and you could see them on a holiday table or something, you know.
Yeah,
they're thematic.
Yep. And so actually, in our first year of bad gifts, I had quite a few gifts from her that were very sweet, but none of them were for me. And since then, I basically told my brother, I was like, I appreciate the thought and that this is her way of showing love, but if she could give me like an experience, I really love experiences instead of objects for me to accumulate. So we're in a better place now for gift giving, but it does mean I don't have as much to contribute to the museum.
And do you remember how much these went for in the auction?
I do not, and I won't have that right in front of me because it's from the first year's Museum of Bad Gifts. I have a drawer of scrap paper. I always use the reverse side of all of my paper, which is why the auction pages are relatively close to the top of that pile.
Very cool.
Yes.
All right, let's move forward. We only have a couple left. So let's see what the museum brings up next. Okay. So these are what you were talking about in terms of like the repurpose or giving something to an artist that has to repurpose it into something else. So what is this?
So
it's a relatively benign gift.
It's a very benign gift. So we asked when we did this open call, we asked for images or descriptions of the before gifts. So this is before it got turned into an art piece. It is a throw pillow, probably about 12 inches by 12 inches. Actually, you know what I'm going to say? So I've got the artwork that it was turned into behind me because I still have to return it to the artist. But I'd say it's actually about 16 inches by 16 inches, and it's grayish, which is that beautiful color between gray and beige. And on it, kind of embroidered into it, it says, "Life is better when you're laughing." Life is better is printed, and then laughing is in kind of like a joyful cursive script. And it's one of those things that's just like so completely mundane and benign. Like, this is definitely the kind of thing you get for somebody when you have no idea what to actually get them.
Yeah.
So I
So it's
can't
your standard throw pillow.
stand it.
Yeah, it's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
tacky.
Pretty
Yeah.
okay. And
but
so
tricky and boring at the same time.
what's the after? What did an artist turn it into?
So this artist, she's a textile artist. Should I describe it, or I think you have the after photo, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken?
let's bring up the after photo and then you can describe
Mhm.
it. It'll be life is better when you're laughing too, or after. Yeah, that's the
Ooh.
one.
So yes, the artist is Roxanne Ignatius, and she's got a delightfully dark sense of humor. So she re-sewed the pillow to be a skull, a smiling skull, and it still says "Life is better when you're laughing," but the "Life is better when you're" is kind of on the forehead of the skull, and then there's these big black eyes with buttons for the eyeballs and the skull nose, and then between the nose and the teeth it says laughing, and then it's got this menacing smiling face to it. So really taking this very benign message of life is better when you're laughing and twisting it and turning it into something that's like very dark and funny, because now it's a skull which symbolizes death.
It is also very creepy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's stuffed like the throw pillow. So it's not
Mhm.
flat or
Mm-hmm.
anything. It's stuffed.
Yeah.
And somehow to me has a it feels a little like obviously it's skull like because the dark eyes give it that sunken feeling.
Mhm.
But it also has a very like mummy type feeling, you know? And that's
Mhm.
probably because of the grayish color of the fabric.
Yeah.
Good old Grage.
Good old
And
grayish.
also, you can see some of the seams, which kind of mimics how a mummy is wrapped.
Right.
So
Mm.
Yeah.
you can see how
Where the
that,
sewing was done.
yeah, where the sewing was done. Yeah.
And so do you know if the artist like puts this on their sofa like a throw pillow?
So I actually still have it, and we're going to be doing an art trade for it
Oh,
because I love it so much. It's actually got a hook on the back of it, so you can hang it on the wall. So
okay.
you can display it like a proper art piece. I think if I wanted to use it as a pillow, I actually could, but I'll hang it on my wall.
Good on ya.
Yeah, yeah. See, this is much more to my taste
Yep.
than the salt and pepper shakers. Although people, if they received this as a gift, it would be a bad gift for them. Subjective.
I think it's hilarious. And
Me
it would
too.
be even funnier if you had it on like a hook in a bathroom where, like your robe was under it and it was a floating head on top of a hook or you know what I mean? Something like that.
Oh, I might
It's
do that.
yeah, you make it into a body somehow.
That's funny.
All right. And we have one more that is the same kind of before and after. So let's take a look at the before photo. Another pretty benign thing. In fact, 1,000 people have this. What is this?
This is a clock, but it's the word love is written out in like 3D letters, and the clock is embedded inside of the O,
Right.
and it's black.
And I think I don't know what it's made of, but it appears to be made of
Prob-
wood for all intents and
Wood,
purposes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like something you could put on a shelf. There's like a base that's, I don't know, like 12 by 3 or 4 inches probably.
Yeah.
And then it's about, I'd say, is it like 6 inches tall? Something
Yeah.
like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
maybe less.
Yeah. We put it on a
Or
mantelpiece or
yeah, it's like
whatever.
something you'd put on a mantle.
Yeah.
Um, and it is the same kind of item as that pillow, isn't it? That kind of generic
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know what
thing.
to do, so I guess I'll get you this clock that spells
Yeah,
out.
these are the kind of things that you would find at like Home Sense and
Yes.
Michael's and all of those kinds of places, and they always had these sort of endearment kind of art. I guess they were art pieces, but you're right. It's like I have a space to fill. I don't know what to put there. I'll put this, or
Mhm.
I don't know
Mhm.
what to bring. I'll bring this. It's better than nothing, kind of
Yeah, I mean,
piece.
it's a nice sentiment, but it
Yeah,
was not to this person's
yeah.
taste. And so she gave it an update.
So the person who received it actually gave it an update. Didn't go to a different artist.
Yeah, no,
No,
the
no.
person who received it. In both cases, the person who received
Oh,
the
okay.
item reinvented it.
Okay. Well, let's see the reinvention then. Ricky can bring up the reinvention. Okay. So we've got the same love shape.
Hmm.
And what did they do with this?
So, this piece is called Would You Love Me If I Was a Worm? And I think it came about because this person was knitting um, these kind of worm shapes out of a pink yarn. And then superimposed onto that clock are these worm shapes. However, the whole base of the black clock is covered in bits of cork, and the artist is Andy Fisher, and the cork the cork was broken into like a million pieces, and it took a lot of work and pliers and all kinds of stuff. So the whole black stuff is covered in cork entirely, and then on top of the cork, over the word love, are these knitted worms with googly eyes on top of the letters. And on top of the cork are also a few snail shells. And protruding out of the top of the clock are blades of fake grass, like maybe the same height as the clock, so doubles the height of the sculpture. And within the clock, there's a painting of little worms sleeping in nooks and listening to music and eating and doing worm activities. Um,
So
and
that's within the O. So they took the
yeah,
clock out of the O,
yeah.
they
The,
painted that, and they've made kind of like a worms at home under the ground. Because the cork, I think, is
exactly.
supposed to be dirt.
Yeah, this reminds me of in Pee-wee's Playhouse, the ant farm. I don't know
Yeah.
if this reference resonates with anyone, but it reminds me of that in particular. But the clock face is gone, but the red um clock hand is still there.
It
Right.
still definitely functioned as a clock, and every time the gallery
Oh
was silent,
yeah.
you just hear the ticking of the clock reverberating through the space.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
it ticked
Okay.
very, very loudly.
So the word love basically is is covered in cork because it's underground, and the worms spell out the word love because they are superimposed, they are laying on top of the wooden letters, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
they're knitted like a tube.
Hmm.
Think of it like a shoelace, right?
Yeah, like a
But they're
fat
knitted.
shoelace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's little googly eyes on them, so the worms have eyes. And
Hmm.
then above the word love, because it's above the ground, is these blades of grass sticking out, kind of like hair on top of little bits of
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Um, would you love me if I was a worm? Is
Yeah.
what they've called this piece.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And where is this piece? Did it auction? Did it?
So the art pieces were priced as though they were actual art pieces, and then that money would have gone to the artist. So unfortunately, this one did not sell. So I imagine it's still in the artist's collection if anybody is particularly enthralled by it.
If you're in love with this piece,
Yeah, it is so whimsical. Like this artist is so whimsical. She works with a lot of like found objects and collected objects to turn things that are very boring into things that are so funny and whimsical and joyful. So this is so true to her style. She didn't have to deviate to fit into the show.
I love it. Ha, no pun intended. No, I love it. Um, very cool.
Yeah.
Very inventive. It's really interesting. I really love artists that take um, found objects, upcycle things, take things that are somebody else's trash and turn it into like I really I really love that. There's an artist friend of mine who's been in this space a couple of times. I have a piece of hers that's 7 feet tall, Persimmon Blackbridge. And she did this whole it's on our YouTube channel, but she did this whole piece where so she's a disabled artist, and carved bodies that are about, I don't know, they're various sizes, but think of them like the size of a Barbie doll kind of idea, but created the bodies out of different things. So like things that washed up on the beach and different kinds of things. So bits of metal and wood and things that she carved, but they're generally the shapes of bodies, but they're imperfect, right? And so one leg might be shorter than the other, or yeah, and it's really about disabled bodies and how we look at bodies and that kind of thing. And so I've got this piece that is like a rectangle square of wood that is 7 feet tall, and on it is mounted these bits of bodies that kind of stick out, that you can touch. Yeah, very tactile. So yeah, anyways, it's in my storage locker at the moment because I don't have a wall yet to put it on, but I will
One
at
day.
some point. Yep. So all right, we got one last piece, I think, and it was a piece that I contributed. I think we're there.
Yep.
And it's ugly. Okay. So yeah. I don't, admittedly, I don't have a lot of information about this. This is a roughly 3 foot tall, so it's like the size of a small toddler. It's a resin statue, but it's super heavy, and it's a clown tipping his top hat to, I guess, himself, because he's looking into a mirror, a hand mirror. And he's got the traditional like pants with the suspenders and the clown face, but the face is like creepy and wrinkled and old-timey. There was a company that made these kinds of pieces in like the 1930s or whatever out of resin in the United States. Anyways, my parents got this as a wedding gift. And I asked my mom today, like, do you remember who gave this to you? And she has no idea. She doesn't remember. She's not sure that she even knew. She's like, I'm sure somebody regifted it. Like it's, it was the 80s when she got married. So she has no idea. But my dad, my parents are divorced now, but my dad is an Italian. So it was an Italian wedding. And when you have an Italian wedding, you have 300 people, which they did have. And it's like, the second cousin of somebody twice removed, but you also invite the mailman and the hairdresser. And then the people you don't even know come to your wedding because they're friends of, your in-laws, that kind of thing. So it could have come from people she had no idea. It's ugly. It's still in our house. I took a picture of this like an hour before our episode. And we can't get rid of it. We've tried Marketplace. We've tried a garage sale. We've tried, I did all this research on like what the value is of it. I can't find another single one like it, but there are several in the collection of the company that has made them. So it's marked with the company's name, but there isn't another one like this that I can find. But there's several similar, but the best guess that I can find is it's worth about $100. So I before she got rid of it, I said you should maybe find out what it's worth. But it's only worth about $100, because if it was worth a lot of money, then maybe you keep it around for a little longer. But it's not worth anything. But
It's reminiscent of the sad clown painting that was in our collection at the most recent exhibit we had, and that went at the auction. And that was, it was just like on this very same wavelength as this.
There's a very classic sad clown face that gets like repeated over and over in different like paintings and sculptures and cards and all sorts of things. It's kind of a very iconic clown, but it is very much a sad, droopy clown, but seems to be dressed to me in like civvy kind of clothes, like civilian kind of clothes. It's not that kind of clown where it's like full of polka dots and big parachute pants and whatever. It's just got the red nose. So I don't really know what it's saying, other than my mother and I say we should use it as a doorstop. So when you keep your door open in the summer, it keeps your door open. You don't, it's a doorstop. Anyways, it's ugly. And if anyone wants it, let us know.
I bet that would sell at the museum. I bet people would
It
get
probably would. It probably cost me more to ship it to Toronto than it's worth. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if I'm on my way to Toronto sometime, maybe I'll see if I'll see if it is
Yeah,
under
let us know.
the 50-pound weight requirement or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Check it
So
over this week.
that's it, my friends. That's it. We can take down the last photo. We've had some laughs and some fun. I want to just let our friends in the Zoom room know that if they have any questions about the Museum of Bad Gifts, if they want to share any bad gifts that they've received, our guests can stick around for a few minutes longer. But we've kept them, and it's it's almost tomorrow for them.
Not quite.
Not
We're
quite,
getting
but
there.
it's
We're
almost
getting
tomorrow.
there.
We don't want to keep them till tomorrow. So if anybody's got any questions or wants to share anything or find out how they can submit
Gifts that
something.
received or maybe given.
Yeah, I asked that question last week to see if anybody would share things. In the meantime, are you doing this again this year? Will there be a museum?
We're talking about it.
Yep, we're hoping we've applied for some grants, trying to figure out how we can get some actual funding for it, because this isn't something that we actually get paid anything to do.
I'm sure it takes a lot of time to put together.
It does, and then we also have to sit the gallery hours because the gallery is normally closed for the 2 weeks after Christmas. So, which is, fine. It's nice to have something to do that time of year. Is, somebody who doesn't actually celebrate Christmas myself, it's actually really great to have a project around then.
Yeah.
But it would also be nice to get compensated for our time. So we're putting together some plans.
We had 1,000 people come through this year in we
Wow.
opened 7 or 8 days, just afternoons. So it's a lot. It's like a lot of people to talk to and explain everything, and it's very busy, but
And
it's fun.
what's the window of time that you're open for
Well, we
during the
opened the
holidays?
exhibit on Boxing Day.
Right.
And then the gallery's closed. What is it? Closed Mondays?
Yep.
But otherwise,
And New Year's Day.
and New Year's Day. And then we were open 12 till 6 otherwise. And then it closed, um, when did it close? The 5th
We
of
closed on
January
a
or something?
Sunday.
Oh, okay. So you went into the new year a little bit. So
Yeah, a little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
Let's see what Megan has to say. Megan, come on in.
So yeah, I noticed like when you did the three-headed doll, kind of reminded me of very ritualistic, like black magic kind of feel. What do you think of that?
Do I think that the doll was like related to black magic?
Well, if any demonic, rituals like that, because three-headed doll, it's kind of
Oh,
really, really,
yeah.
really,
I mean,
really
that's not
special.
something I have no idea. I mean, I thought it was just something from a certain time. I mean, it made sense what
Oh,
the
okay.
person who wrote the description said, that from a time when it was could have been pricey to buy three separate dolls with three separate facial expressions. Buying one doll where you could change the doll's facial expression was more economical. So, but in terms of black magic or anything, I don't know. But it definitely had a certain vibe.
Yeah, it felt kind of creepy in a way, like
Yeah.
really.
I think what makes it creepy is just our social perception, because if
Oh,
it was
okay.
made in the 50s or whatever, they didn't have these creepy horror movies and things like that. But now that we've been around for so many decades, where this has been kind of a, I don't know, a cult kind of thing, that, a social thing that we've grown up with. Now this image has been, in our minds more.
Yeah.
But I bet you if you were a kid in the 50s and you got a doll like this, you would be so tickled pink about it.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
been creepy then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Context is everything.
Yeah. My mom was born in the 50s, 1951.
Mm.
So, yeah. She might be like, "Ooh, what the heck is this?"
Oh, she probably would have loved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wait, is it open this year, like in the summer or in the summer?
Probably Boxing Day again, depending on how the timing works.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
Hopefully the
Mhm.
weather is good at that time because that's going to be pretty cold,
It's true.
Yeah,
right?
we on our opening night we had a pretty horrible snowstorm actually, and I was wearing this dress and climbing over snow mountains. It was it was not easy to get there, but
Yep.
people came.
Well, still came, so
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Megan.
Thank you.
Let's go to Ben and then we'll go to Rita.
Can you do Rita first? I have to plug in here. My computer is
All right.
about to die.
Let's go to Rita.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So I really enjoyed this. I mean, this was a whole bunch of really creative, different things, and that was quite fascinating. I had a couple of comments actually,
Mhm.
and one of them was sometimes, what's a horror to somebody is a treasure to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were given these. I loved them. They were these amazing Turkish coffee cups. I grew up in Turkey, so giving them that for a wedding present was quite normal. But these were made in Japan, and it was almost like tactilely. It was just beautiful. You could feel almost like the ceramic was carved and decorated with golden little things, and you could feel them all. It was really, to me, was beautiful. And but my mom hated them. So she, whenever, she wasn't careless about wedding gifts and things, but she said that she never minded if she broke one once in a while. And then, like 20 years later, she finds out these are collector items and they're really, really, really expensive. So she stopped breaking them. But anyway, I still, she still didn't like them, and I still love them, but that was the way it went. But anyway, so that was one. But I also had a comment about this drinking vessel made of a cow's foot, and
Mhm.
that is when you read, like in the Bible, people drank wine out of wineskins. That's what they had. They had wineskins.
Yeah.
So, if they're doing this in South America and they have it in cows' feet, well, maybe that's normal for them or something. Anyway, that was just a comment.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, Rita. I think you're absolutely right about that. And like,
Mhm.
probably if you go far enough back in tradition and history with something like a cow hoof craft,
Yeah.
I think it was probably something that was made for purpose,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
right? I bet you there were lots of cultures that did that, Like
Hmm.
what did Vikings carry water in when they went on journeys?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they couldn't just walk to the grocery store and buy a bottle of
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things may have been born out of necessity and
Mhm.
became tradition, um, even after necessity was no longer the reason for doing it because it's a tradition. It's an
Yeah.
arts and crafts tradition. So
Yep.
awesome. Thanks, Rita.
Yeah.
A fun fact about that gift is the guy who gave it is a vegetarian.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
It would have been funnier if you said he was a vegan, but I'll take vegetarian. All right, Ben, are you ready?
Now I am ready.
All right,
Now I am ready.
come
I
on.
have Okay, I've got two questions for both of our guests this evening. So, question number one, how long did it take for you to uh, get the idea for this where you guys are? to coordinate this with VocalEye? And 2, how happy are you that you brought this to VocalEye?
Oh, VocalEye came to us, and this has actually been a long process to get here. VocalEye originally contacted us during the museum, so back in December or perhaps January, and then we were just all so busy. It was so challenging to coordinate that it took us this many months, 4 months basically, 4 and a bit, to get here to have this conversation right now. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, we're thrilled because it's something that we've been trying to do for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, we were really looking forward to this, and we're so glad that we finally got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about this museum of bad gifts for a long time. And first it started with I saw this thing on the news. It's really cool. I'm gonna try and find them on the internet. And then I just Googled your names.
Yeah.
And I found your websites, and I didn't hear anything back. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I'm sure it went to one of those. I'm in a spam folder somewhere or whatever. And then eventually I heard back, and it's just like it's always a timing thing because artists are busy, and
Yeah.
we're all busy. So I'm really glad that it finally worked out for us to share space together, and for folks in our community to be able to access this kind of content, because it's just one of those things that is so unique and bizarre, but like we would never get to experience if not for bringing it to a platform like this.
And I was going to say to you all, good night.
Good night, Ben. We'll see you next time.
See you next one.
Hey, Amy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Nancy, do you have a question?
I was given a porcelain doll. Actually, my daughter got a porcelain doll way back 1980, 85. Actually, probably a little longer. And then it was a small one. It's got the little baby porcelain had a nice furry. It was suede and everything else. But then I gave it to my granddaughter because they came back from Italy. They brought it from Italy and got all the name, the how do you say it on their arm, the rest of how ancient it is. Anyways, my granddaughter said, "Ooh, that looked like an ugly clown." Like, oh my God, they're the one. And for us, we were used to something like that. But when we gave it to my granddaughter, she really put it down, and I got really bad because they came from Italy. Because I found it in my closet for almost 25 years. I go, "What's in this box?" I gave it to Chantal, and it was hers. And my granddaughter didn't like it.
Yeah, kids today are used to things made out of plastic.
Yeah, it's like that Cabbage Patch. We grew up with Cabbage Patch, and these guys, or Chantal did, and my granddaughter probably thinks that, what's this, a rag?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, and the next generation is going to look at the stuff that the kids today love, and they're going to say, "Why would you want that? That's a horrible thing."
But it's worth money.
Maybe.
Well, it's got a label on it, like really 50 years ago, and from Italy. And my granddaughter turned it, like I was so embarrassed because I found it. I just took it out of the box and gave it back to Chantal after 25 years sitting in my closet, right?
So your granddaughter thinks that that's a bad gift.
It's an ugly. She said it's ugly. It looks like a clown, and in front of them.
Aww. From the mouths of babes.
But we would like it. It's got a nice green. It's got those little hands are like clay, and the face is clay, but the face and it's got a little bonnet with little frills around it, and under the panties it had those old-fashioned. Like, she was a tiny, nice little gift that we would like when we're, I don't know, maybe I would like it, but not the third generation.
Yep.
But saying it looked like a clown, it must look like a clown because I can't see, but I remember when I first got it, right? Maybe I'll make money out of it.
Maybe, Nancy, maybe that's your windfall.
Yeah, but I already gave it to Chantal, so I guess it's still in the box. I should ask her. I'm here. Where's that gift I gave you?
Can you all imagine if the museum catches on and becomes like a legacy project? What kind of things could be in the museum like 30 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, if tastes keep changing.
Yeah.
The ugly one. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Stephanie. Go ahead.
Probably we're still going to have 100 bottles of nail polish in it.
That's right. That should just keep appearing every year on the auction block, and just see how long it takes for all of the the 99 bottles of, you know, nail polish to fall off the wall.
The ugly gift that I got was that rock that had it looked like a face, and it had I think it grows. I don't know what it was. I guess it not grass, but it had something.
Yeah, the chia rock.
Oh my God! It was. I had to give it to my girlfriend. I had to take an ugly gift to church, and that's what I gave to church.
There you go. Yet another chia bad gift. All right. All right, friends. Well, I say we let our special guest this evening, Chantel, Chantel. This is Nancy talking about Chantel. Now I got that name in my head. Stephanie and Shari. Go for the evening with our thanks for joining us on VocalEye and sharing this really lovely idea of the Museum of Bad Gifts. I think it's such a clever thing to be able to, I don't know, share in the joy and celebration, as you put it, of bad gifts, and to remind ourselves that, you know, one person's bad gift is another person's like joy and treasure, and to raise money for the food bank at the same time, because I think that's a really lovely way to celebrate everything all in one. So I wish you great success with whatever happens this year, and if you get some really exciting things, maybe you'll come back with some new bad gift ideas that we can share in the space sometime next year. Maybe a little sooner than April, but it doesn't matter. We can share this content anytime, because as we already said, bad gifts come all year round, so it doesn't have to be holiday related at all. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you spending some time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. It's wonderful.
Have yourselves a lovely night.
You as well. Thanks so much.
VocalEye, vocaleye.ca. Special thanks to our funders, the Canada Council for the Arts, the British Columbia Arts Council, the Province of British Columbia, and the City of Vancouver.